Hi guys, Israel here, and I know that I look like shit, but I'm gonna do my hair, so yeah. Um, but today I just want to talk about all of the changes that has gone in the new year. So yeah, we had a terrorist attack on Capitol Hill because Trump supporters were pissed off that they didn't get their way. And then we also had Donald, what else do we have? Joe Biden is a new president. Yay. I'm really glad that we finally get to get our country back on track and just hopefully things go back to normal, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think do you guys think that this is going to last forever? I mean, I hope not. I hope not. I mean, Donald Trump, I heard that he's trying to start the Patriot Party, but I didn't see any articles about that. So I'm just like, well, what the hell? If he does, I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I mean, a lot of Republicans seem to agree with the guy. Like, they say that like 80% of Republicans believe that the election was stolen and shit. Like, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. So out of 74 million people, 80% of them believe that the election was stolen. So all this time the election wasn't stolen, but then all of a sudden he loses in 2020 and all of a sudden it's fucking stolen. This is ridiculous. So according to the Republican Party, when Donald Trump lost the popular vote and won the electoral college, that wasn't a stolen election. But when he loses the popular vote plus the electoral college, that is a stolen election. That shit is fucking crazy. At the end of the day, I was watching The View today, and then Megan McCain, obviously she was on there, so she was like, the idea that these Trump supporters that they're useless and you can't talk to them is like so insulting. And I was just like, first of all, bitch, these people don't want to listen. It's one thing, you know, if there was actually like legitimate evidence that the or some some legitimate evidence of fraud or something that's unusual or abnormal, and then for them to be like, yeah, the election was stolen. But come on now, there was no evidence. Every fucking public official said, except for the people in the Senate, said that no, the election results are legitimate. If he lost fair and square, it is what it is. And it's ironic because the Republicans and the Trump supporters especially, they're supposed to be the fake news people. They're supposed to be the ones who are able to decipher between real and fake news. And look, all the shit that was real, oh, fake news, fake news, fake news. Oh, Donald Trump downplayed the coronavirus, fake news. Everything that they didn't agree with, fake news. All of a sudden, you got the QAnon people out here protesting over some fake news. They stormed the Capitol over some fake news. They're supposed to be the fake news people. They're supposed to know. Uh, all of us regular people, we consume liberal mainstream media, right? Where's the fake news? Where's the fucking fake news? They're supposed to know. I thought that was their specialty. Apparently not. Imagine spending 4 whole years bitching about fake news. And the one time that there's actually fake news, you fucking believe it and you ignore all the real news. And then you commit a terrorist attack over some some real fake fucking news. Ooh, child. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that's a major L. That's a major fucking L. I'm sorry. But that's just the major L. That's a fat fucking L. How do you fucking, my guy, like, bruh, how do you fuck up that bad? Fake news, fake news, fake news. There's actually some real fake news, and then you commit a terrorist attack over it. Fucking insane. And you know what? I am glad that this brought to light the issue of white male terrorism, okay? Because statistically, the biggest terrorists in the United States are white men. And see, the thing about white male terrorism is because we have a white privileged country where white people have certain privileges and they don't really get held accountable for certain things like people of color do. They got away with it for the past 10 plus years. The biggest terrorist attacks have all been committed by white men. And the Congress and the FBI and all these other government official agencies didn't give not a single flying fuck. They didn't pay attention to, I mean, the FBI did try to warn a little bit like this past year, but over the past 10 years, nope. Actually, I remember reading something that said that black identity activists were the real threat to this country. Okay. But who committed a terrorist attack on the Capitol? It wasn't on black identity people to me. And a lot of people could say, oh, well, what about George Floyd? What about George Floyd riots? First of all, the George Floyd people were committing those people were protesting actual acts of injustice, okay? That's what they were doing. They were not protesting fucking democracy like a bunch of idiots. Come on now. And then you have all of these people on the left who are saying, oh, well, we need to empathize. No, we don't. White liberals need to stop telling us that we need to coddle to these white conservative men. These men are grown as hell. How are you grown as fuck spend 4 years bitching and moaning about fake news and liberal media, and when the news is actually fucking fake, you can't tell the difference? That shit is fucking whack, bro. That shit is so fucking embarrassing. So no, we don't need to empathize, because we could empathize with them, but then guess what? When another man like Donald Trump comes along, they're more than happy to put his ass in the White House again, so we could have a repeat of the last 4 years. They like that shit. So this whole notion of we need to empathize, no, the fuck we don't. How come they couldn't empathize with Muslim people being demonized in the Muslim ban? Okay, how come they couldn't empathize with immigrants who are wanting to come into this country? How come they can't empathize with black people when we have concerns about Black Lives Matter? Oh, speaking of Black Lives Matter and the police, the Blue Lives Matter people, the people who started the Blue Lives Matter movement killed the cop. So much for Blue Lives Matter. Go figure. This is like one big fucking South Park episode. I just can't, you know. And of course, that's what happens when you elect a clown in the White House. When you get a clown, or whatever the saying is, you end up with a circus, okay? So this whole notion of, oh my God, we need to empathize. Like, no, we don't need to empathize. We could keep on empathizing, but it's not gonna end white supremacy. We can't empathize our way out of white supremacy. At the end of the day, everybody deep down knows why these people like Donald Trump. These people like Donald Trump because he's going to protect their white privilege, okay? That's what this is all about. White people know, as much as they like to deny it, especially these white conservatives, they know deep down that they have certain privileges. And this man is going to protect them. That's why they were willing to look past the fact that he's incompetent as fuck, he's clown as, he's stupid as hell. They were willing to overlook all of that shit. That's why 74 million of them were willing to overlook the fact that he downplayed the coronavirus and did absolutely nothing about it, because they know that this guy is, because they felt like this man, Donald Trump, he was going to put us, people of color, in our fucking place, okay? That's why they voted for him, okay? That's what Donald Trump is there for. And to be honest, you can't even say that it's American, because Donald Trump is only 3rd generation American, okay? I'm ADOS, right? I'm ADOS, an American descendant of slaves / foundational Black American. Therefore, you know when the last slave ship came? 1812. 1812 is when the last slave ship came. So with that being said, I have more of a lineage in this country than Trump does. Okay, Donald Trump is only 3rd generation American. Not that I believe that it takes away from his Americanness or anything, but I'm just saying this whole notion that this is for the best of our country and that he's a patriot, like, no, he's not. No, he's not. Okay, this is just not patriotism. And to be honest, this word patriotism has been totally and completely ruined, destroyed. They fucked it up. I mean, these people were calling themselves patriots while terrorizing our country. They literally call themselves patriots. Like, the word patriot has more of a negative connotation now. And it has had that connotation for a while because of who calls themselves a patriot, you know? These people really think that they're trying to they think that they're trying to conserve, right, true American, these traditional American values. Just because something is traditional, that doesn't make it good, okay? And the reason why a lot of white people are comfortable, especially with white conservatives, the reason why they're so uncomfortable is because a lot of them are afraid that black people or people of color are going to oppress them or get some type of revenge on them, okay? That is not gonna happen, because trust me, with all the shit that we go through, the last thing that we care about is getting revenge on white people. So that's what that's about. Like, I was talking to a white supremacist a few months ago, and basically that's what he said. He's like, oh, well, we want to stay at the top so that, because if black people get charged, they'll oppress us. First of all, I'm sorry, but to all the white supremacists out there, we are not like you, okay? We are not like you. We're not trying to be like you guys, okay? So no, we're not trying to oppress you. We literally just want this to be a true meritocracy where people actually do get by on their hard work, and not their hard work plus their family background plus their privilege. Like, I mean, justice, equality, these are all supposed to be American values. And it's funny how white Americans, especially white American conservatives, they like to pick and choose which American values they follow. Okay? And so, anyway, that storming of the Capitol was just totally and completely petty. And Republicans need to grow the fuck up and get the fuck over it, okay? They need to suck it up like how, like Whoopi Goldberg said, suck it up like how we sucked it up. For 4 years, we sucked it up. See, when there's actual proof of Russia meddling in the election, they didn't say that. They didn't say that he was not they didn't say that the election was stolen. And yes, there is actual proof of Russia meddling with our election. Not our erection, our election. That is a real thing, okay? I'm like Chuck Schumer now. But yeah, that was a real thing. Russia did actually meddle, but they wasn't mad at that. They wasn't mad at the fact that Donald Trump lost the popular vote. He won, okay? So if anybody has like a right, or who has more of a standing to say that the election was stolen, it's people on the left, okay? It's people on the left. We have every right to be upset about Donald Trump's presidency. And yeah, I mean, this is just ridiculous. The Republican Party is a total and complete mess right now. And Joe Biden said that we need a Republican Party, which I don't necessarily agree with. I don't think that we need a Republican Party in particular, but I do think that we need someone who's going to oppose the Democrats, because the Democrats are getting a little bit too liberal for me these days. And yeah, I think that this is just kind of pathetic how Republicans are willing to do anything and everything but just do the work and convince people of color that their policies are good for them. Like, instead of trying to keep immigrants out, instead of trying to keep white supremacy alive, why don't you just tell black people, talk to black people, talk to people of color, talk to immigrants, talk to Hispanics, and figure out like what they want? Because at the end of the day, like, the country is getting browner and browner, and this is the direction that it's going in. So please don't ever talk to me about some hardworking, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, because the Republicans don't want to do that. That's why they're out here trying to cheat, lie, steal their way into the White House instead of actually just doing the fucking work. But yeah, and let's talk about these Congress people. Oh my god, not the fucking Congress people. The fact that these senators want to act like, oh my god, you know, this guy is so fun. They all of a sudden, after the terrorist attack on January 6th, they snapped the fuck out of it. They snapped out of it real quick. Okay, especially Mitt Romney, because Mitt Romney at first didn't want to impeach the guy. Now he does. So they snapped out of it. All of a sudden, people are thinking about impeaching him and shit. See, had they done this in 2018 when he was impeached, or 2019 when he was impeached the first time, we wouldn't even be in this situation. But they didn't do it, you know? And now the worst of the worst happened. And now people are like, oh, well, it's all Republicans' fault. It is all Republicans' fault because all Republicans, they let this lie go. These people are official people. These people took an oath of office, and I get that it means nothing to them, but still, like, these are people who are fucking lawyers and professors at Ivy Leagues, you know what I mean? Like, that's who they are. And like, here we are, these people have credibility whether or not they're Democrat or Republican for the most part, and they didn't. And instead of using their credibility to put out the truth, they kept the lie going. And it blew up in their fucking faces. They damn near got killed. They said, hang Mike Pence. Hang Mike Pence. They wanted to hang his ass. The liberals didn't want to hang Mike Pence, though. They dead ass was talking about hang Mike Pence. Okay? So, and literally Mike Pence, Mitch McConnell, a lot of these fucking Republicans, they let people believe that the election was stolen. They let them believe that the election was stolen. Okay? And I talked to the guy, Ali Alexander, stupid ass motherfucker. I talked to him on Periscope like a few weeks ago before. Now he's acting like a little ass bitch hiding and shit. Oh my god. But yeah, I talked to him about it. He was like, oh, well, if you believe in science, then you believe the election was stolen. Okay, but the math says that the election wasn't stolen. All of these cases got thrown out there, dismissing it, they're not paying attention. He literally said to me, I'm a political scientist, you're not, and if you believe in science, you believe that the election was stolen. I had to let it go at that because it was just being fucking ridiculous at that point. If I ever catch that guy on fucking Periscope again before it ends, trust me, I'm gonna talk to his ass. I'm gonna have a good long talk with his ass. Stupid ass motherfucker. You know? And so yes, this is now the Republican Party is in a hot ass mess. It's a hot ass mess. And they're like directionless. It's like, do they go the Trump direction? Do they go the actual conservative direction? Do they go, do they split in two? Like, what do they do? You know, what do they do? And it's a mess for them. I hope they don't go the Trump direction, but I kind of do because the split would be good for the Democrats. And then on top of that is just like, I don't know, man. I mean, I think that a lot of Republicans, just like all over the country, have a lot to think about when it comes to like their personal beliefs and the party. Like, are you going to be loyal to the party, or, you know, are you going to like, I just want to know. I mean, the fact that 80% of people are Trump MAGA cultists who believe that the election was stolen is like fucking hopeless, you know? It's fucking hopeless. And then you have a lot of these conservatives saying like, oh, well, these people are patriots because they thought they were doing something good for the country. Okay, that's what all terrorists think when they commit terrorist attacks. A lot of these jihadists, these Islamic terrorists, they think that they're doing something good for religion. They think that they're doing something good for Allah. They think that they're doing something good for the caliphate. When these white supremacists commit terrorist attacks, they think that they're doing something good for the country. They think that they're doing something good for white people and for all races, okay? That's really what they think that they're doing, because they want us, people of color, to go back to where we come from. But white people, they get to stay here, you know? White people get to stay here on land that's foreign to them, but all of us people of color, we have to go back to where we come from. Despite the fact that a lot of us, especially black people in particular, we're here because of white people anyway, but I digress. But yeah, that's, you know, so this whole excuse of, oh, well, they are patriots, they thought they were doing something good for the country, so what? So fucking what? They weren't. They have every reason to believe otherwise, and they still decide to believe this lie because they simply wanted to. So no, I'm not gonna have any type of sympathy or empathy for the Republican Party. These people are grown as fuck. They spent the last 4 years talking about fake news. They should have known better. They should have known better. Okay? They should have known better. So no, I don't want to hear some shit about empathy and QAnon. Oh my god, don't even get me started on fucking QAnon. QAnon, literally, you know what? The crazy part about that whole theory is not the notion that Democrats are fucking pedophiles. I'm sure there are some pedophilic ass Democrats. I'm sure that there are, just like there's some pedophilic ass Republicans. The unbelievable part about that whole conspiracy theory is the fact that Donald Trump was going to save them. Donald Trump, the guy who admitted to sexually abusing women, and I understand that being a sexual abuser does not equate to pedophilia, but still, like, clearly he has no integrity when it comes to sexual stuff and like respecting women's bodies. Okay, the same guy said that he would date his daughter. The guy who said he would date his own child is the same one who's gonna save the pedophiles. Also the same guy who was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Also the same guy who has a case on him from 1995 for allegedly raping a 13-year-old at that time and had to pay like $100 million. That's the guy that's gonna save us from the pedophiles. We're fucking lost, we're lost. And I'm it's getting to the point where I'm really starting to feel like I'm too smart for the society. And I know that I'm not, but I'm just like, common sense is just not so common anymore. It's really just not so common. I mean, just like the shits that liberals get, for like just being, for watching CNN or whatever, only for them to be fucking surprised. And then only when they found out that their news is really the fucking fake news. Like, oh my god. Oh my fucking god. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. So at this point, I think that we do deserve the fat, stupid, well, maybe not fat, but like the stupid American stereotype, because this is just stupidity. I mean, this was all just fucking plain stupidity. I don't know what else to do or say. Like, at this point, these people are believing it because they want to. Oh, well, I saw them throwing ballots out on Facebook. Facebook? Come on. Those ballots could have been anything. Could have been anything. And it's sad. Like, a lot of these white supremacists and these white supremacist enablers, like, they're losing their privilege, and this is really what it is. It's just a reaction to them losing their privilege, and this is why I said earlier, every white person knows that they have privilege. I really do believe that, because think about the fucking country that we live in, bro. Like, think about the history of this country and how not long ago it was that literally everybody got equal rights. Not even everybody, but like we were like one of the last Western nations to legalize gay marriage, like hella late. In the 60s, we fucking, like, black people and people of color in general literally only got rights in the fucking 60s. Like, what are you talking about? Like, why? Like, what do you mean white privilege isn't real? It's real. That's why you voted for Trump, because the idea of actual meritocracy and the idea of your whiteness not being able to get you by fucking freaks you out. You know that you benefit from it. They know that they do. That's why they voted Donald Trump. He's gonna take us back to the olden days, okay? Take us back to the olden days. Make America great again. That's what he was gonna do. That's what he was gonna do. George Floyd riots, great, right? I don't know, man. And apparently Donald Trump is gonna try to get back. I hope they impeach his ass, and I hope that they take him out, make him ineligible to run, because we cannot have another man like him. And I hope that we all fucking learned a lesson from this. The shit show was fucking over. And I'm not gonna lie, that whole storming at the Capitol, that was kind of entertaining to watch. It was slightly scary, but it was entertaining. But yeah, just like the idea, I mean, the shit show is over. It's over. I'm kind of sad that it's over. Not gonna lie. The season finale was fucking amazing. I'm just kidding. Not really, but still, I mean, it's over. And you know what? It is gonna. I'm so glad for me to just like trust the president again. President Joseph Biden. This is the first time that I'm saying this. I haven't said it yet, but I'm very happy about President Joseph Biden. And yeah, I'm looking forward. I think that he's actually going to make America great again. And when I say make America great again, I mean I'm referring to the Obama days. And Biden, although I disagree with his certain executive orders that he's issued right now, especially regarding like transgender and sports and shit like that, like you know, for the most part, I think he's doing a good job aside from that. And I think that he's gonna get our country back on track. You know, we're gonna finally go the direction which we're meant to go and be the America that we were designed to be. The America that we were designed to be. That's gonna happen under Joe Biden. And to be honest, I'm not the biggest Joe Biden fan, and he actually was more progressive than I expected him to be so far. But yes, I'm just so ready for shit to go back to normal, for the news to go back to being boring as fuck. I'm just so ready for shit to go back to being normal. 2020 was a very stressful year to be an American. We got the worst coronavirus. We got hit the hardest by coronavirus. Okay. And then on top of that, we were like on the verge of a civil war, it felt like. And then on top of that, we got this crazy ass fucking election. Like, shit was fucking haywire. It was fucking haywire as fuck. Like, and I get that it's not over. I do think that is gonna get worse. I definitely think it's gonna get worse before it gets better, because I think that Trump supporters are gonna have their little fit, you know, like they're having right now. But I think that hopefully, like about like 1 or 2 years in, hopefully 1 or 2 years in, shit, we really start to unify again. And yeah, I'm just ready for it to be fucking dope. And to be honest, Joe Biden can be a one-term president. Like, he can be a one-term president. I mean, he is really just a placeholder for this mistake that was made in 2016. That's all he is. He's just a fucking placeholder. Do you think he'll run? I don't think he'll run in 2024, but I don't know, man. Let me just enjoy this, because I've been waiting for this for the past 4 fucking years, and we finally got it. So with that being said, peace, love, and kisses, everyone.